Yeah, hi guys, this is Pradeep Srivastav. Welcome to my channel. See, today I'm going to speak about something which is interesting when you're talking about an organization. In an organization, it's very important to have top performers. If an organization has a certain percentage of performers in the team, the organization is surely going to lead to success. But how do you actually engage to find out who are the top performers, what are the traits in the top performers which should be there, or even if you want to impart some training to some guys whom you feel they could be the top performers. So this is the subject, guys. I'm sure you'll like it. Please do watch the complete video and give your feedback. See, generally in an organization, it's very important to have top performers, like I said earlier. But what is more important is that the percentage of top performers in the entire team should be at least double digit in terms of percentage. It should not be odd guy who is a top performer, but it has to be a double digit. If you have a double digit percentage of employees who are top performers, I think the organization is going in the right direction in terms of the culture, in terms of imparting training, in terms of inculcating the traits which a top performer needs. So let's understand what are the traits a top performer has. See, the second important quality is, something like, let me first give you a background that, when the employees are given some work, or when they are doing whatever is the work, or as whatever work they are doing as per the KRA, uh, they often start from A, finish at Z, and stop and end. And they generally think this is my job and this is what I did, right? The biggest problem is the critical thinking part is missing. It is very important that if suppose you're working on a data, suppose you are trying to present something, you have to have a critical thinking ability, and you should be able to identify the root causes of the problem, right? You should be able to find out the gaps and study what are the root causes for that particular thing. You should have a critical thinking to evaluate the positive and the negatives, which essentially means evaluate the pros and cons, right? And third, you should be able to infer conclusions from the data. So critical thinking is one important quality in an employee which is needed for a organization to be successful. uh, but the problem is people don't want to think. People just feel it's my job, let me do, and I've been told do from A to Z, and I'll do A to Z and finish it up. That's all. So that's where the problem is. Important quality or the trait in an employee is should be that the employee is willing to be uncomfortable. Most of the employees, they want to do it in a comfortable manner, they want to be easy, they don't want to get into a difficult situation. They don't want to do impossible tasks because they are mentally not prepared to it. A top performer is always ready to take up a challenge and make sure that a top performer is mentally ready to take up anything and is willing to be uncomfortable. He is aware that it will be a little uncomfortable situation till the time the task is done, but his willingness is there, and that willingness has to come from inside. It cannot be pushed, right? So that is where the important part is. He should be accepting or welcoming the change, and he is ready to thrive in it. He is relentlessly pursuing knowledge, because knowledge is very important, and he is constantly changing the challenges. So unless and until these qualities are not there in an employee, he certainly cannot be a part of the top performing team in any organization. Now, most of you will probably say that it's very easy to, it is very easier said than done. And that is exactly what I mean to say. That if the organization feels that there are potential candidates, potential employees who can be transformed to a paradigm shift like this, that training is extremely, extremely important. See, the fourth important thing is uh, the attitude. But the trait actually which is important is that the top performer has to be extremely optimistic. The problem is most of the employees are not optimistic. They are into a different mental syndrome, resulting in just to come and do the job and go. Whereas a top performer is always extremely optimistic. He is spreading positive energy all across the teams, all across the cross-functional teams. Whenever he's talking to anybody, there is a positive energy coming out of it, right? He's his energy is able to motivate and uplift guys. He when there is a problem in the organization, when there is a problem in a process, when there is a problem in a department, he is able to, right, see solutions instead of the problem, right? He's able to see solutions instead of a problem, and he's able to visualize the success after solving the problem. So that's what means being optimistic. And optimistic is one important quality in a true top performer. Guys, I spoke about 4 qualities. There are a couple of more. Don't miss the video, because each and every quality is very, very important. If you're running an organization, you're managing a team, or you're willing to make your business successful. The fifth one, that the people or the top performer has to be an ace communicator. See, communication skills are extremely important, irrespective of whatever department, whatever team you're leading, or whatever business you're doing, right? So a top performer has the ability to communicate effectively, right? And communicate effectively does not mean only speaking, right? It means he has the ability to listen and adapt to the audience, right? He is welcoming to all the perspectives, and he is able to express his idea, which is clear and uh, you know understandable by the audience. That's very, very important. So let me come to the fifth point. The top leader, sorry, let me come to the sixth point. The top performer also has an empathetic view, right? He is very clear on this, and he is always ready to support others during the times of need. He is showing patience with people, he is sensitive to feelings, and he is able to build deeper connections. That empathetic part generally is missing in most of the guys, which you practically you see every day. It is extremely important. And not to mention that it is also very important for a business development guy when he is probably meeting a customer, talking to a customer, or communicating to a customer. Because when unless and until you are empathetic, you will not be able to understand the pain which the other person is going through, and hence you will not be able to give the possible solutions which will make him or her delighted. Another important point of a top leader is the fighting spirit. They are fighters. They keep pushing back. They keep pushing in the face of setbacks. They build strong support teams, right? They build strong support systems, and they are ready to seek help. They don't shy, right? And they don't brood over the failures. The most important point. So a top performer is a fighter in your team. He is always ready, and he never ever broods on any of the failures. Not to mention one important point of a top performer, or a quality of a top performer, is that it's relentlessly reliable. The reliability factor is extremely high, right? He is ready to own and learn from mistakes, right? He is ready to take responsibility and follow, and he is ready to set and honor high standards. And we all know a reliable employee is one of the best employees in any organization. A reliable team member is one of the best team members in any department. So top performer should have this quality, and it is extremely important. So guys, I spoke about 8 top qualities which a top performer should have in any organization. It's not very important that all the qualities would be there in the guys who can be potential leaders or potential top performers. The organizations have to probably screen these kind of people, identify these kind of people, and impart training. Training is an essential part when you talk about success of any organization, and training the skills which will make the organization successful is another important part, right? So these 8 points have to be kept in mind, and we need to work upon this as an organization, as a business enterprise, or as an entrepreneur. and that is how the organization can be successful. Few of the results, if there are a bunch of top performers, would be like, it will improve the productivity. There will be an increased productivity all around, right? The second important thing which will happen is, if you have bunch of top performers, is that this will derive innovation. And the third important thing is, if you have a bunch of positive people, top performers, it is going to motivate the other team members, so they motivate others. And the fourth thing is, that is the bunch of people where you have the leadership potential, right? You always need to have succession plan. You always need to have second line for every department, for every processes. And that's for that it is very important to find out people who have the leadership potential. And when you have top performers, it also helps in better decision making, it also helps in better customer satisfaction, and it certainly helps in a higher ROI. And last but not the least is the adaptability, right? So, guys, the reason of sharing this video is probably to tell you that organizations are just not built by working and working. They are built by many small things. And we as a leader need to identify those people who have the potential or who are top performers, and impart training wherever necessary. If you have, I'm extremely sure that if you have a bunch of top performers, which is double digit percentage uh, of your total team, the organization is bound to be successful. I'm sure you must have liked this video, you must have liked the content. Do like, share, do like, share your feedback. Thank you. Namaste.